Hi everyone, it's Linnea for LDRS Creative. Today we're going to make a card and envelope set that's perfect for the holidays and perfect for mass producing. I have a few of the new products from the LDRS Creative Halloween and Christmas 2022 collection. To start off with here, I have the Christmas Wishes dies. And this is a die set that's going to cut the sentiment Christmas Wishes, and there's also a shadow that you can use. You don't have to use it, but I love dies that come with a shadow. It just adds an extra pop of dimension. For my card, I cut Christmas Wishes from gold foil cardstock, and I cut the shadow from white cardstock. And you can see just how much this gold foil pops when you add that shadow behind there. I also have the Plaid Coverplate I, Plaid Coverplate II, and Plaid Coverplate III dies. I love the way LDRS Creative does their cover plate dies because you can mix and match these. You can use one at a time, any one of these one at a time. You can mix any of them two together, or you can mix all three of them together. And even when you're mixing two or three together, you can switch up the order of your die cuts to get so many different possibilities for your backgrounds. So you can take plaid 1 and 2, layer 1 on top of 2, 2 on top of 1, layer 1 on top of 3, 3 on top of 2. You get the picture. It's pretty endless. So I've die cut this from both red and gold cardstocks, and I'm just going to play around with my layers. I know that I want to have that gold in the middle, but I wasn't sure which of the red layers I wanted on top. So I'm just going to play around and figure that out, and I ended up with a background that I truly loved. So once I have this, I'm going to start adding them onto my card. Let's start building here. I have my Christmas Wishes dies. As I said in the beginning, I cut the sentiment from gold and the backer from white. I added tiny little drops of glue to the Christmas Wishes sentiment. You don't need a lot here. Little dab will do. Then I'm going to start by adding my plaid dies onto my card base. So this is the Plaid Coverplate III. I'm just going to add some liquid adhesive here, and you don't need to worry about adding adhesive onto all those little diagonal slash marks. I just added it onto the more open areas. And this held on just fine, especially since I'm layering 2 more cover plates on top. This is really going to hold together well. And then I'm also putting a sentiment on top, so you don't have to worry about putting glue onto every little area. I added my cover plate dies with liquid adhesive, so they're all flat onto each other. But because you're layering 3 pieces of cardstock, there is a little bit of dimension there. The cardstock kind of does the work for you. I did go ahead and add some foam tape to my Christmas Wishes sentiment, and I'm going to add that right towards the center of my card. And the card is finished. This is easily a mass-producible card, especially if you like to die cut. You can sit in front of the television, watch a movie, put a nice little Christmas movie on, or even a TV show and do a whole bunch of die cutting, and then just layer these up and you can have a whole set of cards ready to go. LDRS Creative has also introduced the new A2 envelope die, as well as the A2 envelope liner die. I'm going to be building a red envelope with a gold liner, and that's going to perfectly coordinate with my card. Just like all of the other envelope dies that LDRS Creative has, you're going to cut 1 of that large rectangle piece and then 2 of each of the flaps. So you'll have a total of 5 pieces to build your envelope, and then you'll also have your envelope liner if you choose to add that. The dies not only cut, but they're going to add some crease marks for you to score along. What I like to do is just gently fold my cardstock over and then reinforce with a bone folder. I get asked a lot what weight of cardstock I use for my envelopes. I'm using about a 65 or 80 pound cardstock. So it's not super heavyweight, but it's not going to tear in the mail either. I've added a strip of double-sided adhesive to each of those little flaps that we created when we scored and folded, and then I'm going to add that on to this rectangle base piece of the envelope. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You can fold the edge over and line that up, or if you wanted to, you could open that up and line that rectangle piece up. So do whatever is most comfortable for you. I like to fold it over and butt those edges up. In addition, I like to start with the longer edges, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to put both of those long sides on, lining those edges up, and I'm also going to make sure that that's pressed on really well with my bone folder. Double-sided adhesive needs a little bit of extra pressure to make sure it adheres. That's why I have my bone folder handy. Alright, so here's my little tip and trick. I like to add those large sides on first so that I can fold them together and create almost a sort of pocket and kind of tuck in those shorter sides. And that way I am certain that everything is going to line up just perfectly. So now I have all four sides of my envelope ready to go, and you can see here how it folds up and creates a perfect A2 size envelope. I just need to adhere my flaps now. And you can use liquid adhesive or double-sided adhesive, it doesn't matter. I like to use double-sided adhesive because I know that's going to hold on strong when it's going through the mail. I'll add that to the sides of my flaps that are going to be on the inner portion of my envelope. I'll remove the backer and then just fold up that bottom flap of my envelope onto the two side flaps. Again, I'm using my bone folder to reinforce that tape and really give that a good amount of pressure so I know it's going to form a good bond. Now here's where the liner comes in. On the liner you're going to fold forward. Usually we fold backwards, but this one you're going to fold forward and then tuck that into the envelope. Here's another little trick. I like to line this up so that it's straight and lined up with my top flap of my envelope. And then I'm going to use some liquid adhesive, and I am only adhering this top flap. I'm going to fold my envelope closed, and that way when I open, that liner is going to have a little bit of wiggle room. If you adhere that main portion of the liner to the envelope itself, you're probably not going to be able to open your envelope all the way. By just adhering the top part, it allows me to open my envelope fully. So here's my completed card project and coordinating envelope. I hope you've enjoyed this project and you're inspired to get crafty with your new LDRS creative products. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.